Welcome to Poets from the Neighborhood. I am VeerajaR.
And I'm Jeff Hardin. We hope you'll enjoy the poems we'll be reading today, poems written by your friends and neighbors. The first poem is titled Leaning Toward Another by Jeff Hardin. Some things I'm content to let go of, though don't ask which things or when or why, since even my trusted answers I can't completely trust. After all, this morning a blue sky so easily turned drab, and now the trees sway in a windy gentleness that seems expectant, though trees lack consciousness, of course. So what I see must be my own need magnified. Maybe the rain will come. Maybe this moment is a prophecy come true, about which I know nothing nor need to know. I reach and tug loose an oak leaf, which might be a prayer, though don't ask me what it seeks or praises. Don't ask me who this intercession has in mind. Don't ask, am I my brother's keeper, if you're not prepared to hear. When one tree leans toward another, I want to eavesdrop. I like to think they share a brotherhood, though it's as clear to me as anyone, I'm speaking of myself. What if I am wrong? And in the higher limbs are words we have to climb to find and hear. What if I overturned a stone and light shone forth? It's possible, even today, the roots of my soul are entwined with another's. I like to imagine a person speaking, and his words like black skimmers circling an inland pond. I'm content to let an hour pass and trust the sky. Some words come back, having touched some image, far out we can't see from where we wait all morning. How lovely the glide of their dipped wings, steering away.
Blend, a haiku by Louise Colln. On a day in spring, horizons of sky and earth blend in one color.
The next poem is Remnant by Jeff Hardin. Rain off the back porch in the early hours is one more thing I would not have thought to invent if I had been deity and not my dull, drained self still sleepy upon waking. Not all of life can be earth-shattering, unparalleled, ever unfolding brilliance. Cat litter needs emptied. One stack of papers must be shuffled, added to another. Sometimes it's all I can do to remember the day's appointments, much less that behind each explanation I treasure, fields I've yet to explore stretch beyond sight. I'm just one person as aimless as the next. Occasionally, a thought coheres, and for a while it's easy to believe a small thing might resurrect a large thing, even a nation.
Talking to Myself by Louise Colln. Caught in a midnight storm, in a southern country town, I merged with ancient structures, standing solid round the square, just as tall as their church spires. I let old buildings take me to times before and after, in between the glory wars, show me wagons, cars, and airplanes, trains snaking through their valleys, when the people built their futures, as they built these solid structures, just as tall as their church spires. Once a train that snaked at midnight round my bed woke me from an echoed dream, in which spirit told me twice, stop, go back. The road we are on goes nowhere. And where, I question Spirit, do you think we chose to go? Should we stay or leave these buildings, standing solid round the square, just as tall as their church spires?
The next poem is Point of Origin by Jeff Hardin. In the cool after rain passes through, the sky to the west is a shade of purple never seen before. So what if I exaggerate? I do so out of reckless awe. From the first note, the harp lives in denouement. One's whole life before seems only rising action. The flute makes an interlude between two breaths. My own point of origin involved a wheelbarrow full of rocks to wheel out past the barn's bent shadow. Sometimes, though, I knelt down where a buck had stood. Home from school, I followed my papaw from woodshed to hog trough to feed barrel to watermelon patch. Evenings on the porch, we sat barefooted and sang to the stars. I figure whatever fortune I had was just about as much as I could bear. I lay on pine needles, I sampled wild plums, cast here and there. I held on tight to the bones of the wind.
The Sparrow by Louise Colln. The sparrow made her nest in my Boston fern, and it was no longer mine, but hers. She didn't take it kindly when I watered her fern. Does she think her babies triumph in God's plan over the fern's brown sprays? Thank you for watching Poets from the Neighborhood. We hope you'll join us again soon.